After this video, you ain't gonna never look at cavemen the same again. First of all, most people don't know that the cavemen lived during the Stone Age. And most people don't know that some of the greatest stone monuments on Earth was built during the Stone Age, stuff we can't reduplicate. By the end of this video, you're gonna realize that the theory so many of us subscribe to today, that the entire Stone Age was just a bunch of dumb cavemen, you're gonna question that by the end of this video. By the end of this video, you're gonna realize that the Stone Age consisted of very advanced stone cities that could have been built by primitive dumb cavemen. A lot of people feel some kind of way about the idea of living in caves, but the trick is they really haven't taught us exactly what a cave is. Let's talk about this. The entire dumb caveman stereotypes exist to stop people from questioning how advanced many Stone Age societies may have actually been. Modern society laughs at cave dwellers while standing in awe of massive stone structures, cliffside cities, megalithic monuments, and ancient engineering feats that are still difficult to fully explain or replicate even with modern technology. Sites like Stonehenge and Göbekli Tepe required planning, astronomy, excavation, transportation, and stoneworking knowledge far beyond cartoon images of a grunting savage with a club. Instead of seeing Stone Age people as primitive, maybe we should consider the possibility that many ancient civilizations possess forms of intelligence, engineering, and environmental mastery that modern society has underestimated, forgotten, or deliberately reduced to propaganda and comedy stereotypes. When we think about a caveman, we think about people living in some natural primitive cave, but that is not what the Stone Age people were like. Modern society marvels at luxury cliffside homes, mountain villas, underground bunkers, and cities carved into rock. This is what the Stone Age was like. It was a utopia of Victorian stone cities carved directly into mountains. So the idea of us living in these primitive caves with the bats, that's not what was happening. They deleted advanced civilizations that was building huge, beautiful stone cities like what you see here. So as you look at these stone cities, just understand that a lot of them was built on mountainsides and cliff sides, places where it's gonna challenge even your best engineers and architects. So we are not talking about dumb people. We see columns and perfect 90-degree angles on this architecture. A lot of this stuff appear to be Victorian. So the cavemen were sophisticated. We gotta get the Flintstone cartoon out of our head, because when they show us these primitive stone cities that the Flintstones are living in, that is just stereotypical comedy. The real Stone Age civilizations live in beautiful stone utopias. And modern society marvels at luxury cliffside homes and mountain villas, underground bunkers, and cities carved into rock, calling them engineering and architectural wonders. Yet the same society mocks ancient cave dwellers as dumb cavemen, even though they were the pioneers of this type of architecture. Ancient stoneworking peoples carved shelters, temples, homes, and entire communities directly into mountainsides and cliffs using intelligence, planning, and teamwork. They understood excavation, structural stability, insulation, airflow, and environmental adaptation. In many ways, what we call cave dwellers or Stone Age people did not simply dwell in primitive natural caves. They dwelled in stone cities. But by definition, these stone cities qualify as a cave. You see the game that they're playing in order to delete all of these advanced civilizations and write them off as simply stupid people holding clubs in their hands? Because when you hear the term caveman, that's what your mind does. It goes directly to the Flintstones, to the Geico commercials. So cave dwellers were the first excavators, engineers, architects, and stone craftsmen. They were the first in human history. In other words, we wouldn't be doing none of this stuff if it wasn't for the Stone Age humans who we deleted from history with stereotypes and mockery. When we see cities like this built on cliff sides and mountainsides, we marvel at them. But don't you know that this very design comes from the Stone Age? Check this out. This is stuff that we marvel at today. Look at this. We're literally reduplicating the past that we're mocking. So much of today's admired cliffside architecture is simply a modern continuation of techniques that ancient Stone Age people pioneered thousands of years ago. Even the columns that we use, when you look at our buildings and you see the columns on our buildings and the Victorian style architecture that we do, look at this right here. Here's where it come from. See, we don't just talk here, we show. Receipts kill any kind of debating. This was here before our modern architecture. Do you still want to think that we came up with this style? Contrary to popular belief, many cave dwellers were not simply hiding inside of random natural caves. Stone Age people were the first excavators. That's important to understand, because we got to realize that many cave dwelling tribes lived in man-made caves. So you had to be skilled at excavation and stonework. They carved entire mountain cliff sides into living spaces and stone cities. In America, this type of work would require many skilled engineers, architects, labor crews, and extensive safety procedures. We're talking about people that was hollowing out mountains, entire cave network systems, like what's in the Grand Canyon. Don't you know that there are a bunch of networks of cave systems in the Grand Canyon? There are remnants of a stone city and a civilization that once existed there during the Stone Age. In these caves in the Grand Canyon and all over the world where we see these stone cities carved into the mountain, they also have temples, meaning that the cavemen had a spiritual system. The Stone Age people laid the foundation of God consciousness or spiritual system. You got to be intelligent to have that. To manifest the type of projects that we see on the screen right now, today you would need trained engineers, architects, safety inspectors, and construction crews. We got all that, and we got advanced technology. Yet a lot of this stuff we can't duplicate. The stereotype of the dumb caveman completely ignores the reality that many cave societies were master excavators and builders, capable of reshaping entire landscapes into functioning communities. Now we got to talk about what is a cave, because when a lot of people hear the term caveman, they think about a primitive human living in some cavern that nature made. And that is the psychological operation on Stone Age civilizations that has been ran through a lot of propaganda to hide the truth of the near past, to hide the truth that when we go back in the past, people were just as advanced. We're seeing entire stone cities that mimic the stuff we see today. But yet we're being taught when we go back in the past, we should be looking for primitive men beating on their chest, living in caves, when that type of dumb being would not make this Victorian style architecture. So all of the stuff that I'm showing on the screen right now, it comes from the Stone Age, meaning it was built by dumb cavemen. Let that sink in as you look at these images. How do they define what is a cave? By definition, there are three main types of caves. A natural cave is a naturally formed rock chamber that is later used by humans. That is the particular cave that most people are turned off by when they hear cavemen. Let's look at the next one. A modified cave. Natural caves expanded or reshaped by humans. Now, modified caves exist today. There are people living in modified caves today, and it's actually a luxurious experience. The third type of cave is a rock cut or stone dwelling. And here's where it gets tricky. That is so vague. Think about that. Any rock cut or stone dwelling by definition is a cave. If you live in a brick house, guess what? You live in a cave by definition. See, here's the part where a lot of people should realize we've been bamboozled. Because when you hear cave, you think of the first definition. Just some primitive natural spot with bats in it, spiders in it, and we just go and lay on the ground in there. No, they deleted the entire Stone Age and wrote it off as just a bunch of dumb cave people, when really it consists of advanced stone cities all around the world. But they know most of us is just gonna go with the first definition of cave. So this third definition of cave, it basically covers any type of stone dwelling, especially entirely man-made spaces carved into stone or mountainsides. People today often imagine Stone Age humans as dumb, grunting cavemen because modern media reduced them to a cartoon stereotype. But the reality is that many Stone Age societies were highly skilled stone workers, excavators, builders, artists, and survival experts. They shaped tools with precision, carved shelters and structures into rock formations, and they understood the properties of stone. And they created some of humanity's earliest cities, earliest artwork, and architecture. Entire cliffside dwellings, carved mountain spaces, and stone working traditions prove that these humans possess planning, engineering ability, teamwork, and environmental knowledge. Because if you're doing this all around the world, you got to know what type of stone can handle what type of pressure. And so you got to have what they call structural stability knowledge, which is very important and takes a lot of IQ and intelligence. The modern dumb caveman image erased the intelligence and craftsmanship of ancient Stone Age people, who literally laid the foundation for construction, excavation, and stone engineering long before modern civilization existed. So people love mocking Stone Age humans as dumb cavemen, but remember that many of the world's greatest stone marvels were built during or near the Stone Age. Monuments like Stonehenge, Göbekli Tepe, Newgrange, the Karnak stones in Brittany, and massive cliffside cave structures and megalithic sites across Africa, Europe, and Asia. And in America here, we have the Grand Canyon. This all proved that ancient people understood stone cutting, transport, alignment, again, excavation, astronomy, because a lot of this stuff is aligned with certain celestial events or objects. And they just understood construction on a level modern society barely gives them credit for. Some of these structures required moving stones weighing multiple tons. Yet modern propaganda trains people to picture Stone Age humans as goofy idiots swinging clubs around like the Flintstones or cavemen from old Geico commercials. Those stereotypes have dumbed society down to the real historical evidence showing that ancient stone workers were highly intelligent builders, excavators, planners, and engineers whose achievements still amaze the modern world today. Like and share this video.